If you own a condo in Vancouver, there's a risk quietly building that most owners won't recognize until it's already hurting them. More and more condo owners are finding that they can't sell for what they need, can't rent for enough to cover the cost, and are starting to question whether they can actually keep the property long term. In this episode, I'm going to break down what's really happening in the lower mainland condo market, why this situation is becoming more common, and what realistic options owners actually have right now. And once you understand the numbers, one thing becomes very clear. This isn't a crash problem, it's a math problem. By the end of this episode, you'll know why so many condo owners feel stuck, how to tell if you're at risk, and what you can do to regain control before the pressure compounds. Let's go. When condo owners reach out to me right now, the stories sound different on the surface, but at the end of the day, the pattern underneath is almost identical. They bought with confidence while the market was rising. Some bought near the peak, some bought assignments, and some bought pre-sales years ago, assuming that the market would still be there when the building completed and they got the keys. And many bought with the belief that rental income would easily cover the payments. At the time, the math worked, it mathed. Today, it doesn't. Units are sitting longer than expected, offers are coming in lower than planned or not even at all, and rents are falling short of covering mortgage payments, strata fees, insurance, and taxes. And for many owners, renewals at higher rates and rising strata costs have turned manageable payments into a monthly grind. This is the part you don't see in the stats. On paper, it looks like a normal market slowdown, but behind the scenes, individual owners are feeling very real pressures. So what's actually causing this in Vancouver and the lower mainland? In my opinion, there are four major forces working together. The first is interest rates and affordability. 3 or 4 years ago, buyers could qualify for significantly more with the same income. Today, that same income qualifies for far, far less. That means today's buyers, they're payment focused, cautious, and selective. They're not stretching the budget. The second force is inventory. Across many lower mainland submarkets, condo listings have risen meaningfully. More listings means more choice. More choice means buyers slow down and take a breath. And when buyers slow down, the sellers lose their leverage. The third force is rental math. Rents have not risen at the same pace as carrying costs. Mortgage payments are higher, strata fees are higher, insurance is higher, and property taxes are damned to be higher as well. For many owners, rent is now short by hundreds or even thousands per month. And with short-term rentals heavily restricted or outlawed across the province, that safety valve, it's gone. The fourth force is strata fees and special levies. We have insurance costs, deferred maintenance, and aging buildings. Those are driving fees up fast. Older buildings are especially exposed. Owners who budgeted based on past fees are now dealing with a very different cost structure. And when you stack all of these four components together, you get the same phrase I'm hearing day in and day out in my business. I can't sell, I can't rent, and I don't know if I can keep it. If you own a condo, I'd love to know what you're seeing in your building or your neighborhood right now. Are units sitting longer? Are rents tightening? Or are things still moving? Leave your area in the comments below. Now let's talk about who is being hit the hardest. Not every condo owner is in the same position, but three groups are feeling this most acutely. The first group, it's owners who bought near the peak. Late 2020, 2021, and early 2022 buyers are especially exposed. They bought assuming appreciation would continue on that trajectory. Now prices have softened and the market won't support the exit that they had planned. The second group, it's owners who relied on that rental income. These owners expected to break even or come close or maybe turn a profit. Instead, they're subsidizing the property every single month. And there's no clear timeline for when that pressure or cost eases. The third group, it's the pre-sale buyers reaching completion. This one, I think, is the biggest stress in the lower mainland right now. These buyers signed contracts 3, 4, 7 years ago in a completely different interest rate environment. Now some can't qualify, some don't want to complete, others are hoping to assign, but assignment demand is weak, restricted, or gone. If you're in one of these groups, it doesn't mean you made a bad decision. It just means the market changed faster than most people expected. So how do owners actually get trapped in this? It usually comes down to three things. The first is planning around peak conditions. People assume values would keep rising. They had that hockey stick mentality. They borrowed based on a version of the market that no longer exists. The second It's underestimating future carrying costs. Strata fees, insurance, utilities, taxes, and mortgage payments all moved higher at the same frickin' time. Very few owners stress tested their numbers for that exact scenario. The third is assuming that you had multiple easy exits. You can sell, rent, or assign. Each one of these felt safe, but today, every one of those exits is harder and less predictable. That's what creates the feeling of being boxed in. Now let's talk about what the real danger is, which is doing nothing. Waiting, it feels passive, but it's not neutral. If your condo is losing money every month, waiting can be expensive. A few $100s per month quietly becomes thousands. Hold a negative cash flow condo for a year and you can hit 5 figures very fast. 2 years can be devastating. And that's before you factor in opportunity cost. This is why people feel mentally and financially drained. They can technically keep the condo, but it slowly wears them down. Now let's talk solution, because this is where control comes back in. The first solution is pricing for today's buyers, not yesterday's market. What you paid doesn't matter to the market. What you need doesn't matter to the market. What buyers are paying right now today does. Correct pricing is the fastest way to regain leverage. The second solution is presentation. In a market with more inventory, presentation matters more than ever. You're not competing with peak prices where people just buy blindly. You're competing with current listings. So paint, decluttering, staging, lighting, and professional photos can materially change outcomes. The third solution is rerunning rental numbers using today's data, not outdated rents. No best case assumptions. If the math doesn't math today, renting is not a safety net. The fourth solution is creativity. Maybe cover strata fees temporary, help with closing costs, offer flexible possession, or maybe even explore seller financing where it's appropriate. Working with your lender to restructure or reduce monthly pressure is also an option. The fifth solution is aligning your plan with your actual goals. Some people want peace of mind, some want to protect the equity, and some just need to move. The right strategy depends on your timeline, not the market's opinion. Now let's talk about buyers. For buyers, this environment can be an opportunity. I say it again, this can be an opportunity. More inventory means more leverage for you. You can negotiate, you can choose buildings carefully, you can focus on quality instead of urgency. For sellers, strategy matters more than ever. Luck is not a plan. Pricing, presentation, and positioning is going to determine your outcomes. Condos, they're still selling, but the sellers who adjust early are the ones who are winning. If you feel like you can't sell, can't rent, and can't comfortably keep your condo, you're not alone. This is happening quietly across the province and the country. The worst move, in my opinion, is staying silent and hoping it resolves itself. You have options, you have strategies, and you don't need to navigate this blindly. Before you go, I'd love to hear your take on this. What's happening in your building or your local condo market right now? Leave a comment below and let's compare notes. And once you're done with this one, check out last week's episode where I break down what's really happening with the Vancouver condo prices and where this market is likely headed next.